SANDHAN, All Gujarat Integrated Classroom.
સેટેલાઇટના માધ્યમથી જોડતી કડી એટલે સંધાન.
Hello everyone, my name is Professor Vikrant Jain and today we are going to talk about SEZ, or we can also call it as SEZ, that is Special Economic Zones. Well, we have heard a lot of times in the newspaper, on the TV news channels, in the internet or from other mediums that SEZs have been the need of the day. The government of India has been planning for a lot of SEZs. The concept of SEZs, it's not new to India and the other Asian countries. In fact, it is the need of the day for the Asian countries like India. You can find a plethora of SEZs in China, India, and a lot of developing countries. There are a lot of benefits attached with SEZ, that is Special Economic Zones. Why SEZs are needed? What is their importance in the economy? How it can benefit all of us? We will come to know in the coming PPTs. Well, it is very important to understand that when a country plans for Special Economic Zone, there is always a political perspective to it, an economic perspective to it, a social perspective to it, a technological perspective to it, an environmental perspective to it, and last but not the least, it's a legal perspective to it. Let's go through the SEZ definition. A special economic zone is a specified, delineated, and duty-free geographical region that has different economic laws from those of the country in which it is situated. Now, it is very important to understand that when I talk about special economic zones, it is a duty-free geographical region. So when I say a duty-free geographical region, that means the burden of tax and other duties will be reduced or will be eliminated to benefit the industry or the organization. But it is only applicable to that specific geographical region in which SEZ is created. So SEZ has its lots of importance and provides a lot of benefits to every industry which it is catering to. So it is very important for the companies, organizations and the industry to understand why SEZ is going to be important for them and how it plays an important role in their development. And SEZ is an initiative from the government because government wants the industrialization to happen at a faster pace. Government wants the industrialization to pace up. Government wants industrialization to be better than before. And therefore, an SEZ is a trade capacity development tool with the goal to promote rapid economic growth. It is very important to note it has the goal to promote rapid economic growth by using tax and business incentives to attract foreign investment in technology. Well, it is very true in a country like India, you don't have enough money or capital to establish industries. And when we want to attract foreign companies, foreign MNCs, we need to support them with the help of tax-free zones. And that tax-free zone is nothing but an SEZ. That is an incentive, that is an offer to all the multinational companies who are ready to invest in a country like India for the benefit of their own and for the region and for the country also. Today, there are approximately 3,000 special economic zones operating in 120 countries. Please note the figures. It is 3,000 special economic zones operating in 120 countries. So India is one of them. And before India actually started incorporating SEZ, there were other countries also who were equally working on the SEZs, which accounts for US $600 billion in exports and about 50 million jobs. by offering privileged terms. So please note the term privileged terms. Now what do we understand over here privileged terms? The terms and conditions, the benefits which are given to SEZ or the companies operating in the geographical region of SEZ is not given to any other company. So it is worth noting that these benefits are nothing but the privilege for those organizations or those industry. So the main purpose of SEZ is to provide privilege which other countries, which other companies do not have. So by offering privileged terms, SEZ attracts investment and foreign exchange, spur employment and boost the development of improved technology. It is worth noting, I am repeating, spur employment, that means with the help of special economic zone, we get better employment opportunities. Because when foreign companies, foreign multinational companies, they invest in India, they have the tax benefit through SEZ. They bring their operations to India. When their operations come to India, they provide employment to the people of India. So employment ratio boost, people get jobs, people get money, and that money gets circulating in the economy. It also develops the improved technologies. So new companies come in. When the companies come in, when the foreign nationals come in, they also bring a better improved technology which we don't have. And last but not the least, a better infrastructure also. It is very important to understand the reason behind special economic zone. Now, is it really necessary for a country like India to have its own special economic zone? Can we imagine a country where we don't have a special economic zone or we don't need it? But to be very honest, we are not in a situation where we cannot afford to have an SEZ. It means we'll have to have a special economic zone. If we want to compete in the global market, we know that we have fierce competition from countries like China, Russia, South Africa, Brazil, and so on. So if we want to ensure that our GDP grows, if we want to ensure that we are in the race, we are in the competition, we'll have to ensure that we continue giving benefits to the foreign companies. If we want to ensure that the foreign companies sustain their operations, continue operating in a country like India, we have to give them special benefits under special economic zone. So it is not the privilege that we are offering to the companies. Of course, for companies it's a privilege, but we are offering because we are in need of it. We are offering because we need those companies. We are offering because we need the employment given by those companies. We are offering because we are in need of the capital generated by that company. So there are multiple reasons why SEZ is not only a requirement, but more it is the need of the day, without which the sustainability of the country is in question. And therefore, every government makes its effort to ensure that SEZ operates in a better environment, with a better infrastructure, with better growth. Let's go to the first reason which is given in the slide. Most developing countries in the world have recognized the importance of facilitating. Please note the word importance of facilitating. By facilitating we mean to provide facilities. So the importance of facilitating international trade. So every country is facilitating international trade. Even we are facilitating international trade with the help of different ports that we have. We have different ports in India: Mudra port, Kandla port, Hazira, and so on. For a sustained growth of the economy, please note the word sustained growth of the economy. When we talk about the sustained growth of economy, we mean a growth which is going to be continuous and it will not stagnate. A growth which is going to continue for a longer period of time and there won't be any decrease in it. An increased contribution to the GDP of the nation. And by doing so, we want to increase the GDP of the nation. We must have seen in the news that the China's GDP has reduced in this financial year. And on the contrary, India's GDP has increased. So it is very important for a country like India that it wants to compete a country like China it has to give a better GDP. As a part of its continuing commitment to liberalization, I hope we all realize and we all remember the story of LPG, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization. It was introduced in the year of 1991 with an intention to give better boost to the economy. With the help of liberalization, we invited multinational corporations in our country. We asked them to go forward and to continue with their businesses in a country like India, where they'll get special benefits. We wanted to give them the benefits of globalization. We wanted to tell them that yes, India is a global country. We wanted to let them know, yes, liberalization has been a part of our growth and we want you to be a part of it. And therefore we started inviting companies in our country. And that was the first step that we took. As a part of continuing commitment to liberalization, the Government of India, that is the short form given in the bracket GOI, has also, since the last decade means a span of 10 years, adopted a multi-pronged approach to promote foreign investment in India. It is very important to understand that to sustain an economy, we need continuous investment. You have only two options available. Either you try to have your own investment, your own capital. For that, the country should be very rich, the people of the country should be very rich. Or second option, you ask other people, other foreign nationals, other companies from abroad to invest in country because we don't have enough capital. Exactly the same thing. In our country, we are more labor-oriented country. I hope you must have heard about two types, capital-intensive country and labor-intensive country. India is a labor-intensive country. That means we have a labor available which is cheaper in cost. We have a labor available which is available at large, at a decent price, and who is ready to work for more number of hours than the foreign countries. But we don't have enough capital to offer to that labor. And you all know that for the sustenance of the economy, there are three major requirements: land, labor, and capital. And when we talk about SEZs, we are talking about capital as our primary requirement. So because if we don't have as a country enough capital, we asked foreign companies, foreign investors to come in India to invest in us, in our country, to grow with us, and let's have benefit. It's more of a win-win situation where we want them to benefit from us and when we are getting benefited from them as well. And that's exactly happened when the SEZs were incorporated. Let's move ahead with the third point. The Government of India has pushed ahead with second generation reforms and has made several policy changes to achieve this objective. So as I told you, what is the objective of the Government of India? To attract more investment. And when we want to attract more investment, what we need to do? We need to change our policies. What kind of policies do we need? We need policies which are investor friendly. We need policies which makes investment an easier option for the foreigners. Let's say a foreign company pursues two different countries, A and B. In country A, to incorporate a business, it takes 7 working days. In country B, to incorporate a business, it takes 2 working days. So obviously that organization will be more interested in incorporating its business where it takes lesser time. Again, a lot of layers are there. The more complex process, the less organizations are inclined to invest their hard-earned money in that country. So government has to align its objective in order to promote the SEZs in the country. And therefore, they started framing their objectives which were more investor friendly, which were more appealing to the foreign investors, and which made their jobs easy. It was a huge task for the government to develop a better infrastructure where it can boost the economic development with the help of SEZs. And yes, government has done a very good job when it comes to the development of SEZs. It has done the SEZs wherever it was possible, and it is in the progress situation right now. So government is progressing the work on SEZ, and the reason of SEZ growth is the need of the day, the economic requirements and the economic pressure in the country. As of April 27, 2006, there were 13 functional SEZs, and about more than that are going to open, and about 61 SEZs which have approved are under the process of establishment in India. The total value of the exports from whom the key SEZs in India during the financial year 2003-04 was $3.08, which increased to $4.07 billion in 2004-05. So you can see that in majority parts of SEZs, the development has occurred. Recently, after the enactment of the Special Economic Zones Act, that is SEZ Act 2005, which made several facilities and benefits available, several industrial houses have shown keen interest in setting up SEZs and SEZ units. So it's not only the government, now the big industrial houses, the big industrial units are taking initiative in setting up the SEZs. In the last 6 months, over 100 approvals have been granted for setting up SEZs. So that's a huge number. 100 approvals, that means we are planning big as a country. For SEZs spread over 15 states and 2 union territories, taking the current tally to 117 special economic zones. We'll go towards the next slide. Introduction of SEZ. The SEZ was first introduced in April 2007 as a part of import-export policy. Now you must have heard the EXIM, that is export-import policy. There is also a bank called as EXIM Bank, which takes care of the needs of the export-import requirements in the country. Now when I talk about EXIM, where we talk about the export-import, obviously we are dealing with the other countries as well. Of course, we are dealing with the investment